what's up you guys, this is Rob from Gay Guy Plays, and today on the Daily Grind, we are back at it taking a look at the Operation Plaguestar Zaws. Now, last time we actually used the shorter handle, which gave us a rapier and a scythe. This time we're going to be using the longer handle, which will actually give us a pole arm and a stave, and I am super excited because I actually really like both of them. Now, as a little bit of a disclaimer, just like last time, I actually wanted to create these as themed sets. You know, we got a strike and we got a Zaw that were both infested from the event, so I'm planning on using both of them. That's not necessarily 100% optimized, but don't worry, I will give you my suggestions on maybe if we need to swap out the grip for a different one in order to kind of like optimize it. You know exactly how all that goes. We did that last time around, so let's go ahead and jump right on it. So for our first Zaw, we're taking a look at the Plague Kripath with the Plague Bokewind, as well as the Varjeet Jai 2. Now, as you guys know, the Kripath actually has innate critical chance onto it, and it has a larger critical multiplier. So I kind of went with the Varjeet Jai 2 to kind of push that crit a little bit further. And the two themes that you're actually going to see with the polearms that we've made today, are not really the polearms, because this one's a polearm and the other one is a stave. The stick ones that we've got today is going to be that I really focused on crit on one and I really focused on status on the other. So this is our crit version, and it actually works surprisingly well. I was shocked. Now when it comes down to suggestions for this, you can tweak it just slightly and use the Jai 2 on the links to get a little less critical chance. I believe you'll end up with 24% critical chance and like 18% status. That's still definitely usable, but for me, because of the fact that I wanted to kind of like embrace the theme of crit on this one, that's definitely the way to go. Now, I know that last time when we were talking about the different handles, I was kind of a little bit underwhelmed with that specific grip that we had for it, but I'm very happy to say that the Plague Bokewind is actually probably the second best that you could get with the set. Now, as you guys know, the Kustra tends to be the best when it comes out for damage spread and damage I guess damage layout. So the way that I'm gonna give this to you guys is if we're taking a look at the Kripath and how this all lines up, the Kustra is at a 94.185 damage per second, if that's the way you want to kind of like put it out there with its attack speed and its base damage combined. And the other ones that actually follow it would be the Jayap and the Sikala at 81 and 82. Well, happily, the Bokewind doesn't fall too far behind because it's actually 88. So it goes from Kustra to Bokewind. Now, as you guys know, I have a thing about the Kustra because I think it's the ugliest Zaw handle there is, and it makes me very angry. So I'm happy to actually stick with the Plague Bokewind. I'm glad that the sets actually match up, and I don't necessarily need to make another Zaw in order to, I guess you would say, min-max it between fashion and effectiveness. So let's go ahead and take a look at the build. Now, this build should be no surprise at all because I'm sure you've seen like 5 different variations of it. It's a hybrid crit / status build, but here's the one thing that I did want to point out. I'm actually using corrosive on this one, and I found that corrosive worked a little bit better to kind of shred down the armor, because what we're trying to do with this is we're trying to hit them hard. We're trying to hit enemies hard. It's not necessarily layering on slash proc after slash proc after slash proc, because unfortunately the polearms don't necessarily have that built into them. And as one of the things that you also notice too is I'm actually using Shimmering Blight. I was using Twirling Spire when I kind of leveled this up, and I was like, oh, it feels alright, but Shimmering Blight is just a lot faster, so you'll actually be able to shred through the armor a little bit quicker using Corrosive, and then of course we've got that kind of like stack up. As Corrosive is falling off, we're getting a little bit more of that viral damage, and then we're getting a little bit of that puncture damage. It's all good, and I'm actually a big fan of this one. I was like, I did not think I would like it at first. Alright, now one of the things that we chatted about earlier was how important stances were to these kind of weapons, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I genuinely did not, you know, I kind of thought to myself, I was like, alright, I was using Twirling Spire a little bit earlier, and as we know, Twirling Spire is a little bit slower, so it doesn't necessarily do that great with status, and when it comes to kind of like later taking on higher end enemies, it's really, you really want to have a mix of that crit and status. This is kind of like why I actually like to make my own Zaws. I am missing every combo here. No, don't do this to me. But one of the things that I also kind of wanted to point out with Corrosive, and this is something that we always, I can't say that we always forget, but I always forget it when I have a weapon that uses Corrosive. Like, straight out of the gate, when I start using it, like, it feels like I'm doing nothing. Then all of a sudden, you get a couple Corrosive procs in, and you're like, oh my god, I'm taking down its health in chunks, it's ridiculous. Oh my god, I'm mixing up the combos. There's 1, 2. 1, 2. Ignore me just fucking up all the combos in the world. I had this so much down earlier, but as you can see, once you get those combos going, literally the orange and the yellow crits start going off. And that's kind of like one of the things about the difference between using corrosive with crits. And this is the thing, it's all weapon dependent, and that's why I was kind of playing around with this and testing out the builds just a little bit, because of the fact that this is very weapon dependent. This weapon clearly does not have very much slash on it, so we can't rely on its slash procs. So I was like, alright, well, what can we do to improve, you know, what can we do to improve its kind of like damage? Because we want to be able to hit these hard, you know, that's the whole point of crit, right? Is to just smack enemies very, very potently with the abilities you've got, or with the strikes that you've got. So I'm like, alright, I think that critical might be a better choice for this one. And once I did, I tried it out, and it was just way better for me. It just felt way better. Okay, let's wear off the multiplier. 2. There you go. Sometimes you got to get into the flow of your melee combos, but as you can see, once you've got it, you can pretty much pick it up half of the time. And one of the reasons too that I kind of tend to go for faster weapons, and that's one of the things that I know that you guys have seen with my Zaws. Sorry, I'm gonna do it one more time because I want to talk about this. Is that I like a little bit more. I like a little bit more speed, mainly because of the fact that I like the flow. I like the flow of that kind of combat a little bit better. Oh my god, I'm just gonna spam E and we'll just hope that this works. And see, it's so weird because once you spam E, you like pull off a combo. I'm like, wait a second, that's not the combo I was trying to pull off, but it worked. But yeah, I like to go for a little bit of faster Zaw. The Cooster is a little too slow for me, and it's uglier for me. So the Bokwin is just the perfect combination, the perfect speed of all of that. And that's what I think is great about the Zaws, is you can really tailor them to what you're trying to do and the kind of builds that you like. Anyway, I'm going to shut up and let's go ahead and take a look at the next Zaw, because I was really, really happy with this one as well. Alright, so the next Zaw we were taking a look at uses the Plague Kiwar as well as the Plague Bokwin and the Jai 2 links. Now, the big reason that I went Jai 2 is because I still wanted to kind of keep a little bit of a balance between the crit and status. So as you can see here, we're actually rocking an 18% critical chance, which isn't terrible, and then we've got the 22% status. It's fairly balanced with just a little bit more of a hint of the status. You can use the Irquana Jai 2 to, I believe, push you into the like 29% status and 14% critical chance. That's totally up to you. I like a little bit more oomph in there personally when it comes to my critical slash procs. I just like bigger things ticking in the background. You know me, I'm still a little bit of a size queen when it comes to, you know, getting it in behind their barriers. So that's the way that I wanted to go with this. And I also kind of wanted to go ahead and embrace the fact that this was a status weapon. So you actually see that in the build as well. Now, we were talking about the kind of like damage spreads from a little bit earlier. Kustra, of course, is going to be like the top choice for this with a 98.59 DPS ratio if you're going to try to switch out the grips. However, again, I'm very, very happy to say that the Bokwin actually comes through for us. So Kustra is at 98, JAP using the same links and everything is 83.8, and the Sikala is 89. The Sikala is 89. So we have 98, 89, and 83, right? So that's what we're looking at. However, the Bokwin comes in for us at a 93. So it's the second best one right after the Kustra. Very, very happy about that. And if you guys are ever considering kind of like playing around with these staves or something, I almost suggest stocking up on some Bokwins, because it feels like the Plague Bokwin is like the second runner behind the Kustra, not as ugly as the Kustra, but provides a decent chunk of DPS. The only thing that I'm questioning is how it's going to look with metallics, because the Bokwin don't have no metallics, and that kind of hurts my soul. But that is definitely something to consider. I think it's pretty fucking fantastic, and hopefully they'll get the color changes soon. Regardless, let's go ahead and take a look at the build. Alright, so because that QR head does have a built-in 4% status, has a good strong chunk of slash and viral, I was like, let's ride that wave. Let's go ahead and go with that. So what we're taking a look at right now is it's not a fully status build. It still does have Blood Rush in there to kind of encourage some crit. to go along with the slash procs that we're going to have, but we've also got Relentless Combination in there. So we've got a fairly chunky slash base weapon. It's not like all the way. It's like it's got a decent chunk of it in there. And then it's also got Viral. So we've got Viral, we've got some slash. We have a little impact there too, but you know what? We got that slash going. So Relentless Combination will help us stack up the multiplier a little bit faster so that we're not falling so far behind when it comes to that critical train. What I should actually do is I'll actually go ahead and link in the description box below the Blood Rush kind of like scaling screen, so you can kind of see what percentages of crit fall into like what areas. I think that's definitely something to keep in mind. Again though, one of the things that I want to point out is we do have Clashing Force. Of course, this is the appropriate stance that fits in there, but stances tend to matter when it comes to a lot of these weapons, especially when you're stacking on lots of slash procs at the same time. So let's go ahead and take a look at the way this performs. Alright, now the freaking, I think it's, what did I say? Clashing Forest? Whatever stance I just showed right now has some amazing combos for stacking up slash procs. But as you can see right now, we've got like a 60 hits off on that enemy, and it seems like a lot, but we have to remember Relentless Combination is kind of going at the same time. Now I hate to kind of, what do I say this? It's weird because I tend to gauge hits to kill off of, the melee combo counter, but the thing about it is, because of the fact that we have so many going on with Relentless Combination in the background, it's kind of hard to tell exactly the hits to kill. So sometimes you have to go off of time to kill. And that's a big thing with status too, is time to kill. Like hits to kill don't always like correlate with time to kill. You know what I mean? So just because I get 5 hits off doesn't mean those 5 hits didn't take forever to do. But I wanted you to take a look at this combo right now so that you can kind of see these little twirls that goes in with Clashing Force. Those little twirls are fantastic at applying like multiple procs at the same time. So you can actually get your combos up real quick, or you can get your combo counter up real quick with those, and then maybe you can even kind of swap up your hits after you've stacked up a bunch of those procs, because this is really ramping. So we're gonna change it up real quick about halfway through after we've built up some of those procs, right? Into maybe something that hits a little bit harder. So that's a cool thing to kind of keep in mind, and I'm going to tell you right now, this is, hold on, let me see if I can do it. Okay, wait, it's not it. Isn't it like 1, 2, we have to look at this combo set, because this is the best. Okay, it's 2 pause. Oh my god, it's 2 pause? Wait. Oh my god. There you go, that's, oh my god, it's, okay, this is like not the most effective combo in the world, but I do need to share it, and I need you guys to be aware of this, that literally, so you do the first 2 pause strike, and then you could literally just spam the back end of it to continuously flip. I'm like not even doing any pauses right now, I'm just kind of like spamming the back end because it's somersault. Anyway, let's continue to show how this performs real quick before we go ahead and close things out. I wanted to show you the new Arcane. Well, it's not the new Arcane, but I showed you guys the Arcane, I believe it's the Contagion last time, and I want to show you the Epidemic this time. Just because, you know, just so you get a feeling of how it all performs. But yeah, look at how quickly those slash procs just make work of that guy. When you get all your slash procs going, it's a pretty beautiful, wonderful thing, and that's kind of like the reason why I wanted to go with a status variation. Because of the fact that I kind of want to embrace the strengths of the weapon, right? And I know you guys are saying, well, you didn't go all the way status because you still kept it the J-Jap, the Jai 2. But, you know, still got a little more status than usual. You know, it's gotta play to its strengths. So let me go ahead and swap into the appropriate Warframe to show off exactly how powerful the Arcane Epidemic is. And keep in mind, it's Arcane Epidemic, and I think I only got it to rank 2. Alright, so as you can see, we've got my Arcane Zealous equipped, and I'm going to show you the 2 different ways that this works. Because there is one that I think we might not see for too long. But the way that the Arcane Epidemic or the Exodia Epidemic works is basically it will lift an enemy into midair for a little bit, and you can actually do that with large groups of enemies. Well, not large groups of enemies, but you guys can see pretty definitely exactly how wide that beam is, right? So part of it is kind of like any enemy caught within that beam. It's a fast-moving beam too, and the great thing about it, hold on, I'm gonna test something. No self-damaging, which is nice because I've been using the Contagion a lot and the Contagion literally hates my guts. I will die so much with it. But a part of me is like, but it's so hilarious, I can't not use it. So this is a great way of being able to kind of like take on enemies and kind of like give them, you know, number one, it lifts them up in the air, so it renders them useless for a second. But at the same time, when they hit the ground, it still takes them a second to get back up. So that's always a positive thing. But what I wanted to show you was something a little bit different, and so far I've been testing it out and it only works with daggers, specifically covert lethality. Don't know what it is. I'm sure it's gonna get patched out, but let's go ahead and take a look at what happens when they can't see you as a Loki. So all you gotta do is have a little bit of invisibility on. Oh, he's already aware though. He's up, but I guess it doesn't matter. It's pretty ridiculous. It's pretty ridiculous. And the thing is, the other Arcane Contagion actually has the ability to trigger off of stealth multipliers as well. So keep that in mind. But the only thing that I do have to say is this does not feel like it's tied to stealth. It's really weird. Well, it is tied to stealth because you have to be stealthy with it. But legitimately, how do I put this? I tried stealthing it with a different weapon, and it does not work on anything that doesn't have covert lethality. If it does have something, if it doesn't have covert lethality, let's just wait for my invisibility to wear off, or I can just jump off real quick. Placed on a different weapon, it just doesn't have that same effect. It's just specifically covert lethality. So I'm gonna say enjoy it while you get a chance. Warframe has many things that end up getting patched out because it was a little too OP, but you know, I'm just saying it works very similarly to how it worked just there a second ago. So as you can see, if you put this on any other Zaw, you'll get this effect. But you get the crazy, ridiculous effect. I wonder if we can refresh it. You don't know I'm here. Yeah, there you go. You get that effect if you're stealth. So keep that in mind. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that there for you to play with for the time being, because Lord knows how long that's gonna be around. But I hope you guys got some good information. I'm actually really happy about the Boquan grips being pretty gosh darn good, because I think it was the Araquin, I forgot exactly what the other one was, but the short-handled grips for the Infested were just not as impressive. I'm just gonna put it out there into the universe. The Boquan ones were very fantastic, and I'm actually happier with this set than the last set. So you guys definitely try these ones out. Let me know how you feel about this grouping. And also, one of the things, do you feel better now with the scythe being on the head of a stave? Like, does that make you feel a little bit better about the whole weird scythe head thing? Because I know that when we were taking a look at it last time with the shorter handle, we're like, this does not feel scythe-like. Regardless, leave that all for me in the comments below, and as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!